Hi everyone, welcome to The Cutting Room, a geographical oddity and a movie show by All the Right Movies. My name is Luke, and with me are the damn paterfamilias of the movie world, Matt.
Hello.
And Westy.
Hello.
This is the third and final part of our show on Oh Brother Where Art Thou, where we talk about our highlights from the film and then give it our rating out of 10. We're starting off with the highlights. There are a number of scenes or moments that we could have picked for our highlights here. Everett in the Geographical Oddity store, the recording of Man and Constant Sorrow. But I want to start us off by talking about the montage sequence where I'll Fly Away by the Kossoy sisters play over the top.
Oh, very nice.
It's a dreamy song,
Yeah.
and it won't quit. Swooning harmonies, intertwining, just incredible stuff. Amazing effect. The sequence itself, I think, is as dreamy as the music. Some incredible visuals capturing Deacon's amazing work in camera, but also the color correcting work that brings out that lushness of the Mississippi countryside. It's beautiful. The boys' track is a smash hit during this scene, and everybody wants a piece of it, but they're on the lam, they're stealing cars and pies that are cooling at windows, having a great time, hiding
Leaving money for it, though.
Yeah, leaving money for it. Delmar's got morals.
To pay the way.
Of course he has.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. His run up that hill is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. They're thrilled with themselves. And Everett's able to get some pomade, and they're completely oblivious to what's happening and their potential success. But they're having the best of times, eating by the campfire, having a good old laugh. I think it just does what every good montage sequence does. It rushes the story along in an effective way, a passage of time. But this sequence, for me, captures that spirit of the whole film. A wonderful romp through the countryside, on the road, getting up to various scrapes along the way, and all soundtrack by this irresistible musical number. I think it's a fantastic, it's magnificent sequence. I love
The way
it.
Nelson looks at them when he's eating that pie, and he's just got that really dream.
Yeah,
He's just in awe of everything. Like, it's just that's what it means to be alive. Just to be like, I'm in a really good mood. He's just kind of
and Everett shoveling the pie in,
and
laughing.
Everett's then laughing. It's like, it's great.
It's wonderful. What about you, Matt? Favorite scene?
I mean, this film, it's got so many different tones to it. And one that I think a lot of people tend to forget about is at one point it gets really tense. And it's like a proper thriller, which is when they come across the KKK rally.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where obviously Tommy's in there, he's about to be lynched, and the trio infiltrated to save him. Instantly, it's that instant decision. Well, we've got to save Tommy. You know, because these guys are essentially, they're quite cowardly, but not in this moment. And I think that really works. Really bonds them together as a team. And this is one of the reference to the Odyssey, because he got Big Dan here. He's a Cyclops. They've got to dress up in the white robes, and in the Odyssey, they have to dress up as sheep to get past the Cyclops in one scene. Nice. So that's what the scene is referencing. Right. And I think it just looks incredible. I think it's possibly the most visually impressive sequence they've ever shot up until this point in their careers.
Really? Right.
The flames, the light, and the sheer number that are at this rally, and the fact that they're all chanting away and dancing around in that formation. I think, as Westy, you mentioned, that there's a lot of Wizard of Oz references in this film. This is a massive one, because this is the end of Wizard of Oz when they get into the castle of the Wicked Witch, and she's got her army.
The troops are marching.
The way they move in formation, the way they chant.
Brilliant.
That's such a reference here. It's got that real vibe, which is a weird film to reference in this context, but it somehow just works so well. And I've always loved that detail. You get that it's Big Dan who realizes it's Everett there, and it's because he can smell his pomade. Because that's been set up in earlier in the film that it really stinks. And you can see like Big Dan smelling, yes, he knows it's there. But it's the tone of it. I think the tone works so well. It's deadly serious. You've got that leader who obviously turns out to be Homer Stokes running for election against Pappy Daniels, talking about protecting his culture and his heritage with a lot of unrepeatable slurs.
Horrendous.
It's proper spine-chilling stuff. And Chris Thomas King, who we've talked about, his performance as he's being dragged towards that cross, he is brilliant. This sequence, for me, this could come out of Mississippi Burning. It could come out of Black Klansman. It's that powerful. And I think Tarantino took so much from this sequence for his KKK sequence and Django Unchained. Because, you know, and even in this really dangerous, tense scenario, you've still got like a joke in there that works really well, which is when they get unmasked and Stokes sees them. And he goes, "The colour god is coloured." Can't believe it.
Colour god is coloured.
Yeah, that's
this scene for me looks fantastic, really tense, really, really brilliant.
And you've got Oh Death in there as well, which is a brilliant song. And the way that's delivered, it's so chilling. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, the vocal on that is chilling.
And he's just arms outstretched, and he's dressed in that red with the flames behind him. It's just horrible. But I know that the Coens rounded up a lot from a local military school to get everybody organised, get everybody where they needed to be and doing what they needed to do. And a lot of the guys in Ku Klux Klan outfits were African American, which I think is great.
Fantastic.
It's just a massive fuck you. It's great. And they were talking to each other going, this is the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life. And I love that. And they're all just like, it's a fallacy of itself, which is great.
Yeah. There's a delicious irony to that the majority of the extras were black underneath the KKK robes.
I absolutely love it. And anyone watching it being like celebrating it, just going, nah. You can't.
You don't have a clue. Yeah, perfect.
Brilliant.
What about you, Westy? Favourite scene?
I'm going to go for, the end, and just after in the jailhouse now, and they've recorded Constant Sorrow, A Man of Constant Sorrow, and you just think, and they've forgotten about it. We've kind of forgotten about it, but we're seeing these little clips of the newspapers, we're seeing this kind of stuff. And when they start singing them harmonies, you just think, oh, yeah, this is like, it's just that build, and he comes up and he's just, and then the stranger when he pulls the beard down, that's incredible.
That's great.
That's incredible.
That's a lovely,
but it's when Patty gets on the stage for me. It decks me every fucking time. He's like a massive chicken. It just reminds me of like a big, and then when he licks his thumb and touches his arse with it, as if he's on fire. And he probably doesn't even like the song. He's only doing it because the other guy got run down. And Clooney's moves, where he's just kind of like, it's just fantastic. And he's talking to his ex-wife, and she's like there, and she's impressed with it. The other guy's pissed off. Everyone wins in that one musical number. It just all comes together where they're all performing that, and it's an incredible song. I mean, 1918, I think it was originally written. It was just incredibly done. And I think the lead vocal is by the guy who sings for Alison Krauss and Union Station. He does the male parts of that. This is Celebration. Yeah. And that end sequence for me, when they just sing them harmonies and Everett looks and he's like, oh, and everyone reacts. He's like, this is what
he looks, what's happening here?
And then they get a full pardon,
It's
just like, that would be a cop out in any other film. That would just be a cop out. Just be like, no, they get a full pardon. But it makes perfect sense from all the shit that they've been through. It makes perfect sense, and it's just absolute joy.
Yeah, it's not Clooney's voice. He practiced singing for quite a while, even though he's, I think his aunt is Rosemary Clooney. Or great aunt or something like that. So the Coens assumed that he would have a wonderful singing voice, and he went into the recording studio in Mississippi and gave it all he got, and then he looked up like, that good, and they were all like, couldn't look him in the face.
Let's get down in.
Shit, George.
And I walked down, I was like, how'd it go? And they're like, oh, yeah.
Tim Blake Nelson did actually sing his own rendition of In the Jailhouse Now. Yeah. Sweet vocals.
Rambling pal.
Shooting dice. Lovely. So, narrowed down to 3 great scenes, but in a film like this, I'm sure we could have done this segment another couple of times at
Every
least.
single scene, pretty much.
Easily.
The one and only ATRM verdict, the only critical opinion that matters. Or so I've heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Westy, could you summarise your thoughts and give old brother a score out of 10, please?
It's really, really straightforward for me, this. It's really, really straightforward. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It's one of my favourite films. I'll always come back to it, and when I do come back to it, I'm annoyed that I don't come back to it more often. I'm so entertained by it. It's such a heartwarming film. Visually, it's incredible. Acting's incredible. Direction's incredible. Writing's incredible. It's incredible. It's a 10.
Big 10. Boom.
Tout court.
Predictable. Expected. I love it.
Tout court.
I was charmed by the film from first watch, like I said, and I still get those feelings now. I can't believe any studio would give the Coens $25 million for this pitch in 2000. It's even less likely now. But I'm glad they did. I remember an Empire magazine review at the time, and I believe it was on the back of the DVD, that said that the film has more wit and visual imagination than it does in regular movies, and that really stuck with me. I'd say that was an understatement. It's magnificent, and it's got the perfect balance of comedy, drama, historical accuracy, and inaccuracy. Just magnificent writing and performances, and one of the best soundtracks this century. It's one of my favourite Coen films. It's a 10 all day long.
Nice. Lovely.
Clean. What about you, Matt?
Baptism.
Baptism.
You can tell how good this film is just by how much we quote it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't want fop, goddammit. I'm a Dapper Dan man. Ain't this place a geographical oddity? 2 weeks from everywhere.
I feel like we've barely scratched the surface, to be honest, of how good this film is. There's so many other scenes that would have been great to talk about. You know, when the barn is burning down, that's fantastic. Looks amazing, really funny.
Calm down, boys.
Yeah, I do. I just love this so much, and it's just grown on me so much as well from that first viewing. Like I say, I didn't just quite get it, but then it just clicked, and it's just gone up and up and up in my estimation. I think it's their most visually striking film at that point. And those performances, can't get enough of them. They just fit the material so well. And like I say, just how unusual this film is in terms of script, in terms of dialogue, in terms of what it's about. And it is only the Coens that could have pulled this together in the way that they have done. And even despite saying that, I'm still not sure. It is quite top tier Coens for me. You know, that narrative is quite ramshackle. It is quite episodic. I think it maybe tails off a little bit, but that's how good the Coens are. That's something that for me isn't their top tier. Is still better than like 80% of what anyone else can do. So it isn't top tier Coens, but it's still a 10 for me.
Nice.
Wow. There you go. Top scores all round. So overall, Oh Brother Where Art Thou scores an expected high score. Full marks, 30 out of 30. Well deserved.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, get the buzz going about ATRM to your family and friends, tell them to come in, the water is fine.
We'll wash all your sins away.
Baptism.
Probably add to them.
Boys are dumber than the bag
Put
of
that
hammers.
Piggly Wiggly you knocked over.
And that's a wrap, fellas. All's well that ends well. We're going to RUNNOFT. Settle down in front of the campfire and listen to some good old-timey music. Gopher?
Go for it.
Gopher?
Looks appalling, that as well.
I know, it looks horrible.
Horrible.
Splayed on that stick. Horrendous. Oh, thank you very much for watching, everybody.
Yes,
really
thank you, guys.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. Goodbye.
Oh, okay. Good stuff. Well done, lads. Great
Yes,
show.
nice
Bound
one.
to be.
Enjoyed that, lads.
Nice one.
Thought that was really good.
Okay, right. Okay, well, I'm going to have to skedaddle
Okie dokie, mate.
to
All
quote
right,
it.
yeah,
So
we'll
I'm
do the same.
He's stuck in the chair.
I can't get out. It must have been that extra fricassee that you bought me. Can't get out.
Looks like you're in a tight spot.
Oh, damn.
Must be that extra fricassee about me.